Hey everyone, I'm Alex, and welcome to this Marvel Snap Beginner's Guide on one of the best beginner decks in Marvel Snap. This year, the beginner deck, Pool 1 Disrupt. And in this guide, I'll take you through this entire deck. I'm also going to talk about each individual card, why it's there, the purpose that it has, and I'm also going to provide you guys with a whole bunch of gameplay examples of me piloting this beginner deck against a whole bunch of high-ranked players with near-complete collections, to very surprising success. I absolutely love it. I never get sick of beating players with beginner decks, especially when they're throwing the most complex combos in the game at you. It is a wonderful feeling, and you get to feel that as well when you pilot this amazing deck. So the first thing I need to note is that this is a Pool 1 Disrupt deck. So what that means is that Pool 1 is the collection level 0 to 214. Now there might be a few cards here that you don't have, but the good news is that as you unlock cards, which are completely random, you will unlock every card here by collection level 214, which is the first pool, so to speak. And then from there you move into the pool 2, where you start to unlock a random set of other cards. So the collection unlocks are totally random for each of us. We all unlock things randomly in our own unique order, but we are guaranteed to have all these cards by at latest collection level 214. Okay, so let's talk about the actual cards themselves. So first of all, this is a disrupt deck. So what we want to do, it's like a little bit of a control deck, but we also want to mess up the opponent's hand, their ability to play, and also have some wild RNG at the same time. It's a really fun deck to pilot. The first is Elektra as a 1 cost here. Now Elektra is unique from a 1 cost perspective because she is a 1 energy unit that you don't generally tempo out on turn 1. What you do is you hold Elektra, they play their turn 1 play, and then on turn 2 or 3 or whatever, whenever you need to curve better, you play Elektra and trade with one of the 1 costs on the other side. So for instance, let's say they play a Sunspot and you take it out, right? Huge value play. You basically do not play her on 1, you play her on 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and then you ultimately enable her to trade very effectively with another 1 drop on the board. Korg is a card you play on 1. We've seen lots of Korg in my other beginner series, but basically Korg shuffles a rock into the opponent's deck. The decks in Marvel Snap are only 12 cards in depth, so when you add an additional rock in there, you dilute the deck, making it extremely, well, not extremely, but harder for them to draw their key combo pieces. Drawing a rock on turn 6 from your deck feels absolutely terrible, and so that's why Korg can be so impactful. From there, you have Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is absolutely great, provides you with additional reach into some of the locations you might not be able to get into, so like locations you might not be able to play into, and he gives you that additional reach. And most importantly, as I discussed in my other videos as well, he combos extremely well with Angela. You play Angela on 2, you play Nightcrawler on top of Angela, you proc the +2 on the Angela, and then you move the Nightcrawler. Then you can play 3 more cards on top of Angela, making her an absolutely massive 2-drop, literally the best card in the game. And then you have Yondu. Now, there's some special consideration about Yondu. He's a good disruption card. He often hits American Chavez, which is absolutely great because she consistently remains in a deck and only comes out on turn 6, which is consistent with many beginner decks. The nice thing about Yondu is that if you hit a core, piece from their deck, they might just retreat, or it's extremely disruptive for them. But the counter side to that is that if you hit a card that really they didn't want, like you hit a 1-drop that just is hiding in their deck, then it kind of just thins their deck and they draw better. So it has like the opposite effect of Korg, where you thin their deck if you hit a card that's kind of inconsequential. So that's the one risk about Yondu. And then you have Armor. Now Armor, you might be thinking, Alex, Armor's not a disrupt card. Armor, that's a protection card. It protects things from getting destroyed. Yeah, but what if your opponent's playing a destroyer deck? Right? If they're playing a destroyer deck and they're playing cards into a location, cards like Nova, cards like Bucky Barnes, cards that they want to have explode, and you play Armor on top of them and say, no, you're not destroying nobody, it's basically just game over for them. Like, Bucky Barnes sucks without proccing Winter Soldier, right? Winter Soldier's a 2-6. Bucky Barnes is a 2-1. So, Armor can be incredibly disruptive. So if you see Nova and you see, Bucky Barnes get played, you slide Armor into that lane. It's hyper disruptive. You don't care, but they certainly do, and that's why Armor is here. Scarlet Witch is a lane corrector, a location corrector. So basically the idea here with Scarlet Witch is if you get a location that is very disadvantageous to you, advantageous to your opponent, etc., you can utilize Scarlet Witch to correct that to your advantage. Technically, it's a new random one, but generally speaking, whatever the bad one is, another random one is probably kind of usually on in terms of randomness, it's probably better for you ultimately, because especially if the one you have sucks, the one you're going to get just might be a-okay. And you got Morph. Now, this is like the gambling side. This is the RNG side. And this is a pure fun card. I mean, you could swap him out for someone else. He is not like necessary from a deck standpoint, but he is extremely disruptive because if they're holding a very high cost card in their hand, like Hulk, and you just pull Hulk on turn 3 because they're holding it in their hand, then it's an amazing win condition. Morph is one of those cards that's like a little bit of a high roll, but remember the other side to Morph as well is you play them on turn 3, they've usually played their 1 cost, their 2 cost, so they start to thin the lower cost cards out of their hand, right? So the later you hold him, the more likely you kind of hit a high value target. Straight up RNG, he's gonna whiff on you sometimes, but sometimes he's gonna land absolutely unbelievable plays that'll be game winning. That's Morph. And then you have Cosmo. So again, disrupt, you want to have Cosmo. He's a 3/3. He destroys on reveal abilities, which is absolutely great. So if you see an opponent setting up for perhaps some sort of combo, you slide Cosmo in there, and he works wonders. Then you have Enchantress. This is a great disruption card, much more on the control side, but still very disruptive. Very good against Iron Man, right? Very good against other cards that basically utilize on reveal abilities in order to maximize their effectiveness. There is one thing worth considering though. Enchantress will disable armor. So if you use armor against the destroy deck, do not play Enchantress on top of your armor, or else you'll allow them to destroy the cards that you had been previously blocking. So that's one consideration there worth noting. And then Spider-Woman. Now I don't usually use the variants because I know it can be a little confusing because you guys have this card, but this variant is so good. It's one of my favorite in the game. I could not bring myself to not use this variant, but Spider-Woman we're using because it is just great value. It's a pool 1 card, it's a 5/7, it's a heavy hitter, and a lot of the decks you're probably seeing right now are zoo decks. It's partially my fault because the kazoo decks I've talked about are pretty successful, and I'm teaching how to counter one of the decks I actually talked about prior. But anyways, Spider-Woman will inflict -1 power across the board, not across the board, sorry, in a given location. So if they've zooed out and they have 4 units there, this is effectively a 5/11, which is absolutely insane. It's just a very high tempo play, very disruptive to them, and just overall a very good card. And then finally we have America Chavez, as we discussed prior, a good 9-drop for you. It's a pool 1 card, and the nice thing about it is that it thins your draw. So the key thing that new players often miss with America Chavez is that you draw this card on turn 6 and not before. The not before part's important because what that means is that it makes it so that you are more consistently drawing your other pieces. On turn 4, you're most likely to have Enchantress. On turn 3, you are more likely to have Cosmo Morph. And on turn 2, you're going to have one of the plays. So it makes it much more consistent, and you are more likely to play on curve, which I think is to be extremely important, especially when you're playing a beginner deck. And guys, that is more or less the explanation. And these gameplay clips are absolutely wild. I recorded them live on Twitch. I would absolutely love to see you on Twitch. By the way, we have so much fun, and I mean, I'm playing a beginner deck, pool 1, and we are absolutely demolishing guys with like full pool 3 combos, high rank. It's absolutely insane. It really shows the potential of this kind of deck. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy these gameplay clips. All right, so we just tempo Yondu out here. I don't think it's worth playing Electra. We want to counter play with Electra. Electra is one of those cards that it's not worth playing on it as tempo. Like, it feels absolutely terrible. Hitting Leech is not bad. That's probably part of his plan if he has a Leech. Cards okay. We got Sewer System here. We play Korg here. These are pretty low impact plays. He's played Sentinel, so it doesn't look like he's even going to play a 1 cost, which is unfortunate for Electra here. That's why it's Sentinel. Nice. We are going to play Daily Bugle. I think we put out Electra here. I hope he pulled Electra. He plays Cosmo. That's fine. So we copied my Cosmo. Which means that we can Cosmo mid. No, we don't Cosmo mid. Yeah, we Cosmo mid. Cosmo mid allows us to follow up with America Chavez there and pretty much guarantee the lane. Wolverine plays armor. Okay. We play Spider-Woman here. It's fine. You can snap. You can snap. Snap all you want. Play into the armor lane. That's where I want you to play. No, he didn't play in the armor lane. Okay. Do you think he gives mid and forces left to try and be fancy? I think he does. I think he gives mid, tries to be fancy, and forces here, thinking I won't play there. By the way. That's what I think happens. Are we gonna call his bluff? Let's do it. I think he plays left to try and be fancy. See? Called it. You can't trick me, bud. You literally can't trick me. You like, buddy, I don't know what you thought. You don't know who you're up against. You cannot trick the trickster, my friend. You just got owned. We go Korg in the big house here, folks. I can confirm that the way tiebreakers are handled is whoever spends the most money on the game wins. Yes, that's exactly how it works. Got him. Imagine those were the tiebreaker rules. Whose account has the most money spent on it? That would be absolutely hilarious. I would love that. Negative zone. We got cards for that. Do I actually morph here? No, morph's a huge risk. Morph is a massive risk. If that's Colossus, I'm going to be sad because I want Colossus. Maybe Scarlet Witch. Maybe Storm. Maybe Storm into negative zone. It's Electro. Okay. It's Electro. Cube Rush is a streamer competition where 4 streamers try to get as many cubes as they can in an hour. I've participated in it. Cube Rush is a lot of fun. A lot of the original OG Marvel Snap streamers participate in it. Yeah, this guy's a huge advantage now. I wish I didn't have Cosmo there because I could hit him with Enchantress. But instead, I have this big sad moment. I mean, we were able to zoo this location to good effectiveness. I think I do this. And then I just play, because he's -1 there, eh? And I can just out-zoo this Devil Dinosaur. He plays a card. Okay, he's playing a card. He's playing a card. He plays leader. He should be able to beat me, by the way. The question is, does he play here? I'll play here. He has... does he feel like he has to deal with that there? I can't even move the Nightcrawler, unfortunately. He's up by quite a bit here, isn't he? I think I still play mid here. I debate this guy mid. Let's go. I think he plays right, thinking I'm going right. And he leaves mid. See? Guys, I call it every time. I really do. I just call it every single damn time. And I just win. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. You get a beginner deck, you make good decisions with it, and you win games. That's what we do here. We beat these guys. We beat these guys with beginner decks while they're playing Pool 3 Destroyer decks. Yondu in Washington, D.C. Let's see what you got for us, my friend. Yeah, playing beginner decks into late Pool 3. Like, these guys are like hardcore sweating over their games right now. And I'm playing a beginner deck. And I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. This is the way I like to play this game. I like to play this game, enjoying the process, experimenting, learning, designing things for other players. This is the way I play this video game. You know, not everyone has to. Everyone has their own thing. Everyone has their own way to play. This is mine. We're gonna throw Cosmo on top of this Angela, because he's gonna play cards into Angela. Play Angela here into the Nightcrawler. Jessica Jones. It's funny. Morales would have let me been played for free with Polaris, but whatever. He's got such a huge hand. He's holding so many friggin' cards. I do this. I have to contest this lane. I go for a high roll morph play. I play Electra just for the value. I get Juggernaut. Sad. Okay, I do have a... Okay. So that works out to his advantage. Morales. Enchantress. Give mid. You should be able to win mid, but 5's pretty decent here. Playing on 2 lanes. He should be able to win. He goes all out on the left side there. He plays a Morales. Oh. And Goose. Oh my god, guys. It looks like we just won another game. Look at that. This guy played Doc Ock mid into a Cosmo, which is like perfect for him. We still win the game, baby. And we actually whiffed pretty hard on the morph play. Still won the game. Played a tempo Enchantress to take down armor. Still won the game. Korg, get in there, buddy. Into X Mansion. By far, my most hated location in the entire game. I hate X Mansion so much. This one's close too, but X Mansion's worse. I don't want to tempo these guys out right now. I just wait. If this is Sunspot, I'm killing it. It's Invisible Woman. Big side. Oh, you lost Black Cat. It's a discard deck. Limbo. I don't know if that's particularly advantageous to me. We morph here for the memes. Oh, we just knocked. We got his death. You gotta be kidding me. We just morphed into his death. X Mansion's gonna ruin it. I get Black Cat. He gets Chavez. See? X Mansion always ruins it. No, I can do this. I'll just play her on tempo. There you go. See Invisible Woman. Hope he didn't mean to do that. Oh, actually discarded a rock. And his Hela. Nice. I literally just got rid of his Hela. Victory. That's absolutely god tier. Because what just happened was Enchantress takes out Invisible Woman. He doesn't want to destroy his Hela. Hellcow comes down, hits the rock from Korg, and then strikes his Hela in his hand and wins the game. Literally won the game. Not to mention morphed into death. What a wild game that was. Hate you, Crimson Cosmos. Now I gotta play into the mid not knowing what's gonna be there. Crimson Cosmos, you can go to hell. Because now I gotta play Korg mid, and now I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hope this is Sunspot. I love destroying. I like eating Sunspots with Electras. Hellfire Club. Alright, well that was a free play, I guess. Eat. What is this, a Shiv? What the hell is this? A Psy? A Psy Blade? Whatever it is. Eat crap, Ant-Man. Oh, bud. Playing armor there. Sinister London? Sinister London? Oh, I'm gonna play Cosmo. No, I'm not gonna play Cosmo. I'm gonna play Morph first. We're going in with Morph! For the content, baby! Let's go! Morph! Make me proud. Oh, it's Claw! That's not bad. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Claw ain't bad at all. I mean, it does suck right there because it doesn't give it to anybody. But anyways, it ain't the worst thing in the world. It ain't the worst thing in the world. He's clearly playing a Destroy deck, so Cosmo actually works to his advantage. I get Nightcrawler, Scarlet Witch. These are called size, I've been told by Twitch chat. Thank you very much. I never knew that. Oh, there's a signer name too. Look at me, I'm learning stuff today. Move this out. We got Central Park. There's squirrels everywhere. He's likely to play his destroyer into one of the left and right sides, depending on which one's giving him the greatest advantage. So what we do is we take our thing again. We take our... Mid is not where he's going to play, so we do this. Because he has to... I mean, he could play mid too, but then he just is holding Colossi. Huh. I don't know what the hell this guy's plan is, I'll be honest with you. I think I just win. Oh, snap. He has to play one card here to win. I force this a little further. He has to cover 10. I still win this. Can't win this at the same time. Chavez here is probably unnecessary. We'll go for it. Come on, Noel. He goes left. It's Onslaught. I still win. It was a good attempt, though. I like the Claw Onslaught play. Didn't expect it. Gotta be honest with you, did not expect Onslaught, which doubles the ongoing effect of the location, to hit Claw, which sends 12 power to this location. Not enough, though. Not enough power. I did expect him to play something right. This looked like it was gonna be a Destroyer deck, and then just didn't. Man, I don't know, but that's a dub for us. Let's go.